What's up guys, it's Jeff Chan from MMA Shredded, and in this video I'll be showing you 10 different ways to mix your striking into your double leg takedown. Now if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So I don't usually shoot for a takedown without some sort of setup, but if my opponent doesn't seem concerned about defending the takedown, I'll either fake or just shoot for one as shown here, so that they start thinking about it. After one takedown is established and I have them worrying about that potential takedown, one combo I like to throw is slapping my opponent's lead knee to fake that takedown with no setup, baiting my opponent to drop their hands to defend, then I come over top with the overhand right. After scoring or even coming close to landing an overhand, my opponent is more likely to lift their hands up to protect themselves the next time their peripherals see a looping punch coming at them. So once my opponent starts worrying about the overhand, I'll fake the overhand punch and into my double leg takedown. You can see here after I faked the overhand, my opponent extended his lead arm to 360 block my punch, but I had already changed levels and shot for the legs. Another example here, I faked the overhand. This time my opponent shells up, giving me a clear path to shoot underneath him. And a few other quick examples here. Then, sometimes I like to double fake by combining the two. Tap the lead knee to fake the takedown, then my opponent will either drop their hand and eat my punch, or be distracted and block, leaving themselves open for the takedown. In this example here, my opponent ate my punch, but also didn't see the takedown coming. In another example here, when I slapped the knee, you can see that my opponent shot his legs back. Whether he thought it was a takedown attempt or just a slap to the knee, he didn't take the bait and still blocked the overhand. Although I couldn't land my punch, my overhand was enough to distract him from my takedown. And here are some other quick examples. The fourth way to mix our striking into our takedowns is a very simple concept, which is to bait our opponent into getting into a striking exchange with us by punching them, then pausing for a second to let them retaliate. And when they try to punch us back, we duck under the punch and shoot for the takedown. Now if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys would know that I love to cash the left kick for a sweep and probably recognize some of this footage. But not everyone will react the same way after their leg is caught. Some will turn away, making it very awkward to sweep. But as you can see, it sometimes still works. But when our opponent turns away, they also give us their backs. So another option is to body lock from behind. If they turn to face us, we can go for the backbreaker by leaning forward and digging our chin into our opponent's chest while squeezing their lower back into our body. On the other hand, if we end up body locking our opponent from behind, we can trip our opponent by squatting down onto one leg and straightening the other leg behind our opponents as we pull them over our straight leg. Now when we catch the left kick and go for the sweep, sometimes our opponent just has a really heavy leg. Maybe they have good balance, or they just resist enough that we are unable to complete the sweep. Naturally, they will be pulling their leg back in a stance. So what I like to do is pass the leg into my right hand, which is the same direction they are pulling their leg back, and right into my double leg blast. We also have the option of transitioning into the single leg takedown. Speaking of the left kick, I like to throw my switch kick to set up my takedown. Once I throw enough switch kicks, my opponent will anticipate the left kick coming and maybe try to block whenever I switch my stance, and that's when I shoot for my double leg instead. Continuing with the left kick, they say when your opponent kicks, you punch, and when they punch, you kick. As an outside fighter, I like to stick on the outside and use my longest weapons, my legs, to attack. My opponent, on the other hand, would be wanting to pressure forward after I kick so that they can get into range and counterpunch. So after I throw my left kick, I like to bounce back in a southpaw stance and duck under my opponent's counterpunch and into my takedown. Similarly, I can also set up my takedown the same way by throwing my right kick. After I retract my leg back in a stance, I step back in a southpaw to bait my opponent into moving forward at me to counterpunch, and that's when I duck under and shoot. Again, for those who do know me well, you know that I love my low kicks. When I see my opponents start checking a lot of my kicks, I like to fake my kick by just lifting my rear knee up, and if my opponent lifts their leg to check, they're only on one leg, making it very difficult to sprawl and defend, so that's when I shoot for the double. After lifting my knee up, regardless if my opponent defends the kick or not, it still distracts my opponent and I'll shoot for the takedown. And onto our 10th way of mixing our strikes into takedowns. If we can use our low kicks to set up our takedowns, we can also score a takedown off our opponent's low kick. When our opponent throws their low kick, they are standing on one leg, making it very difficult for them to sprawl to defend. So when the low kick comes, we catch the kick with our left hand first, followed by grabbing the other leg with our other arm. If it's an inside low kick, then we want to catch with our right hand first, then grab the other leg with our other arm.